So, as I sat down to write this speech, I asked many of you for advice, and most of it was pretty offensive. But some bits were useful. The best advice was to avoid any reliance on the INSEAD IT app service. So there's no slides today. Sorry. The advice I got about the length of my speech reminded me of a phone call with my financial advisor last week. I told him I was going to invest in Italian bonds. He said, best to keep them short, buddy. But the advice around the speech was particularly brutal. There's one dear lady in the crowd who offered quite a lot of advice. She told me when you're speaking, stand on a chair so we can actually see you. She said, if you shave your head that morning, hand out some sunglasses so that we don't get glare in our faces. Mum, thanks for coming all the way from England. Your guidance and advice has been brilliant this year. In all honesty, your responses varied between the inspiring and thought-provoking, through to the amusing and at times pretty alarming. Most of it converged around a very simple question. That year at INSEAD, what was it all about? On the grounds of the campus, we enjoyed opportunities to fulfill our professional and intellectual goals. Outside the grounds of the campus, well, we enjoyed opportunities to destroy our professional and intellectual goals. We went through emotional highs and lows and grew closer as a group. We learned about each other's behavior and about how diverse perspectives provide richness in our lives. So we shall be very proud as we check out the most expensive career rehabilitation facility in the world. With our resumes optimized, our savings accounts obliterated, and our Facebook walls covered in the ramblings of tomorrow's global leaders, we can dream big and act on what we learned. But what exactly did we learn? Well, we learned that INSEAD attracts talented people all the way from Dubai to Shanghai, Vienna to Siena, and Bangalore to Singapore. We learned that our Israeli and Dutch classmates give you a very direct response when you make a stupid comment in class. We learned that 90% of the Lebanese economy is supported by the output of 10 students who are currently at INSEAD. We learned how to get dressed for an interview, or maybe even graduation, looking at some of you, in under 30 seconds. We learned how to hover around the catered executive education events and fulfill our daily calorie intake. That's a joke. It's not a joke. We learned that men can do ballet, and some of them sit here. We learned that studying finance with our cases is like learning how to make love by just reading the Kama Sutra. And we learned to ask where that number comes from, and to never, ever, ever run out of cash. All knew where that was going. But not every learning originates from a National Week party, a case study, or a weekend in Pankill. As we lived through INSEAD, we learned some important things, and these were from one another. The first lesson is to be confident to try new things. Many of us came to INSEAD to try something new, in some place new, and maybe with somebody new. We realize that there's no time like the present to make the changes that we want in our lives. If we want to be entrepreneurs and start a company, then we should. If we want to go and live in the Chinese countryside and study Mandarin, then we should. If we want to run through the streets of Singapore on a wet, rainy morning, dressed as a pirate, a penguin, or a priest, then we should. And most of you did. We encouraged each other to chase opportunities and do the things we always wanted to do, but never dared to do. We learned that it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to imagine what if we had dared to try. The second lesson is around the power of personal relationships. We came through an incredibly intense year where we tried new things and pushed the limit of what is achievable in a 24-hour period. Together, we sniffed pungent smells in the form of Singaporean durian and French camembert. Together, we hunted beasts in both the forests of Fontainebleau and the humidity of the 4 floors at Orchard Towers. We relied on each other to do the undoable and think the unthinkable. Maybe there was someone who let you sleep on their sofa as you arrived on a plane from Fonty at 3 a.m. Maybe there was someone who wrote the slides you were supposed to write as you staggered home from Attica at 6 a.m. We started off as strangers in January, and after much collaboration and cooperation, we each leave today with a network of friends who will continue to help us fulfill our ambitions. We will partner on projects, start companies together, and improve the way in which the world works. The third, and probably most crucial lesson, is around the definition of happiness. We are a competitive breed at INSEAD and have pushed each other to realize new ambitions. Many of us have benefited from trying things we never thought we would ever do. I, for one, did not expect to be on this stage 6 months ago in a revealing dress and a blue wig presenting the cabaret. Sorry, Dad, I was going to tell you about that later. As we graduate, let's prevent the pursuit of achievement from overriding our everyday happiness. It is dangerous to measure our happiness against that of the stranger in the street with the higher salary, a faster car, and a bigger house. It's okay to define your own level of satisfaction. It really is. Staying hungry for success is important, but it's okay to say no when it's to the detriment of your health and your happiness. We learn to prioritize the hours we spend with our friends and family over the dollars and value we add to our shareholders' pockets. We learn to worry little about what happened before and what will happen in the future, but to focus on what's happening right now. So friends, as we head out into P6 and beyond, the word that comes to mind as we define the past, present, and future of this class is legacy. Our legacy of the past year has materialized in the experiences we went through together as the class of 11D. Our legacy in the present is materializing right now in this ceremony as we think about how to make our friendship stronger. But our legacy in the future is every bit as exhilarating as it is unknown. Have a quick look to your left and to your right, and you will see the next generation of CEOs, entrepreneurs, politicians, and community leaders around you. You may even see the next odd pop star in the making. Friends, we will shortly board buses, boats, and planes to the four corners of the earth. On behalf of the class of 11D, I want to thank everyone in this room for the part they played in making this year at INSEAD an enriching learning experience both inside and outside of the campus. We will really treasure these memories forever. Thanks. So finally, I leave you with a smile and a thought from the renowned cartoonist Dr. Seuss about how to close a chapter of your life successfully. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Thank you.